Hey there, Python programmers, and welcome back to our tic-tac-toe code along. This lecture, we're going to go ahead and code out the set player type method. This method is going to go ahead and set up if a player is human or computer. Cool. So this method is going to feel a lot like some of our other input methods we've done before, and like Wordle and Snowman, where hey, we're going to have a while loop where we're going to keep getting input until we've met whatever conditions we want for that input. I'm going to go ahead and just do while true because ultimately we're going to return out of this method. Let's go ahead and get our user input. Going to use the input method. Need to provide a prompt, and we'll want to interpolate what player num it is. So actually, we could pass in the player. This way, we can choose to set if it's player one or player two. And then what we'll do is player num a human. Question mark, and then we can do something like enter H or C. Colon space for our prompt. And then one thing I do want to do is let's just chain a dot upper on here. That way, even if our user doesn't provide H or C, if they do lowercase, it'll automatically uppercase. And again, if it's already uppercase, it doesn't matter to us. All right, so if our user input equals H, we're got a human. What we'll want to do is return human. Colon there. Let's go ahead and throw an else if on here. If our user input equals AC for computer, we're going to want to go ahead and return string of COMPTR. And then we've got to have our else case of if they basically entered anything else. At this point, what we'll want to do is an OS system CLS. Again, that'll just clear our terminal. And then what we'll want to do is print out something like incorrect. Input of whatever they put in as their user input. Again, just telling our user what they did wrong. We can throw a set of quotes around that. So it prints out. We'll say try again. And what will happen is when they enter their user input, again, if it's an H, we'll return, break out of the while loop and the method. And again, we're going to save that human information to where we call set player type from. If we enter a C, we're going to pick computer, do the same thing. If it's not an H or a C, we're going to clear the screen and then print out, hey, this is the wrong information. But what happens then is we've gone back to our while loop and the user input of, hey, you get to try again will be right below that input. Cool. On this point, again, it's only ever going to be one of these three choices. So either they get it right or they'd be in the while loop forever. Cool. Well, that's it for our set player type. Now, again, what we'll be able to do is call this method twice. That's why I kind of want to return the value from it. Down here in our play game, we're going to set player one or self.player1 equal to whatever the result of this set player type is. And then we can go ahead and call this again. That's why we wanted to have the player number involved. Cool, that's it for this one. In our next lecture, we're going to come back and tackle the human move.